let's talk about these events, because what we set up for this whole summer was amazing. We came in late June and we kind of looked at the calendar and we're like, okay, we're going to do these things. What are we going to do? And it's not something that you can do overnight. It's definitely a lot of planning, a lot of budgeting, and seeing if we can financially do it as well. But we had some great events. And our first event was pretty much an event that kind of just set the tone for the whole summer. And we called it, well, I called it Water Day. I was like, hey, Water Day sounds great, but you guys came up with a great name. But let's talk about that day, that first day.
Yeah, so the first event of the summer was a water day, but we called it Aqua Avenue. Um, yeah, it was the first youth event of the summer, so we had a lot of expectations. We were really nervous because there was so much preparation that went into it. Obviously, if you have a water day, you think of water balloons, you think of pools, you think of dunk tanks, and you think of water guns and all that stuff, right? And there was so much preparation that went into that it kind of gave us like a lot of anxiety and stress. We were kind of like, oh my gosh, if this doesn't go well, all this planned stuff, then it's not going to go well the rest of the summer.
Yeah.
So we knew that this event had to be, like, I wouldn't say perfect, but it had to go well.
Yeah.
Because it was like it set the tone for how the summer would be, right? And that kind of did bring a lot of like icky feelings. It's like, oh man, if people don't come, then but yeah, it went well. So
Yeah, I would say so too. How about you, Koji? What did you feel about Aqua Avenue?
I like this event because amidst all the chaos and the water dunking and shooting people with water, there is like more organized, peaceful activities like the hydro dipping, and that was an activity that Aiden thought of, and I really liked it. And we hydro dip puzzle pieces, and what we plan on doing is making like, I guess, like a mural out of it, and it's like all the puzzle pieces are gonna fit together, and it's like how we're all connected as a youth group.
Yeah, I think that was an awesome activity. I think, like Aiden said, we had the water guns, the water balloons that we filled up, and then by the time we brought them out, like a lot of them were, a lot of them broke. The dunk tank was great, which was awesome. We got the dunk tank, like I got hit a lot, but we got our leaders as well, which was pretty awesome to see. So yeah, it was a pretty great event and a great kickoff, I feel. And I think the biggest thing for us was when it came to the time that we started, a lot of people didn't show up yet. And then we were kind of like sweating, right? We were like, oh my goodness, is anybody gonna show up? We have all these water balloons, or then we gotta use all of them up, right? But it was pretty awesome to see all the kids show up, and that was awesome. But now we're gonna go to the week after. We had the water fun and all that stuff, but I think the main goal for all of us was to still build biblical foundation and help the kids not only have fun in activities, but also take back with them some foundational, biblical, as well as some one-liners that would help them throughout their summer, as well as hopefully their future as well. And the first event we had was, we love our Encounter worship team. Kudos, we're reaching out to our worship team wherever. If you're watching, we love you. Yeah, go ahead. We'll clap for our worship team or give our hearts. There we go. We're gonna do that right there. Encounter worship team, the best worship team out here in Markham, and we had a worship night.
Yeah, so we had a worship night, but alongside that, I also spoke and gave a sermon for the first time, and that was like a huge step in going out of my comfort zone for me. And I spoke about losing faith because I felt that that's something that's very relevant in times of COVID. So yeah, and I thought it went great, all things considered, because it was my first time speaking, and it was a great experience as something to take with me going into the future.
You did an awesome job too for it to being your first time. I think that was pretty impressive. You had your mentor, watching you, and he was actually helping you throughout that process as well. Aidan, how did you feel about seeing Koji speak for the first time, as well as seeing the process to getting him there? It's like you raised the kid from right from like baby to like like to university. Like it was so quick. But talk about that. Like, how was that feeling?
So originally the plan was that I was supposed to speak this week, but obviously we changed it. Koji went first, and I actually got to help Koji in the writing process of his sermon, but I never actually heard it before he spoke. So whatever, I did the intro, and I was like, "Oh, here's Koji," and I was sitting there, and I was watching him. I was like, "This is like really good," and like for his first time, like I didn't even notice your mistakes if you made any, right? And I was listening. I was like, "This is his first time." I felt like a proud father almost, like watching him, and I was like, "Wow." And I won't even say that I did most of his writing, because I didn't. It was all his ideas, it was all of his points, and he knew what he wanted to speak about because it was speaking to him. And I kind of helped him here and there, but all of the writing, all of that was him. And it was really nice to see from paper to in person, and it come out so well. It was really
Yeah, I think like start to finish was great. Worship was awesome. The team came out with some songs that we love and enjoy, and then Koji comes in and talks about a topic that's really hard for us to really, coming from my perspective as a pastor or as someone trying to deliver messages, the hardest topic is faith, right? And for you to tackle that was that's a big step, right? And then you took a bigger step in making it your first sermon or your first talk in front of the Encounter Youth. So the Jesus Jam was a huge success. I think it was a great event, and hopefully we can run with that title for summers to come. But then kind of how you would structure youth ministry is you do a fun event, and then you do like a usual youth night, and then you do another fun event, and then youth night. That's kind of how they tell you to do things in youth curriculum. But we went the direct opposite way, and then we said, you know what? You heard from Koji. We're going to go right to Aidan the next week. And what you titled it was very different too, right? Like it was memorable. Yeah. And let's talk about that. I'm not gonna share all of it. I want you guys to talk about it. But Koji, or not Koji, it was Aidan. Sorry, you talked.
Yeah. So the third event of the summer was called Sunscreen Season. But sunscreen was spelt a little differently. It was spelt with S-O-N. Yeah. Like daughter, son, father, mother, like that. And the title of my sermon was Don't Forget Your Sunscreen, right? And obviously sunscreen is important, right? You need protection, all that stuff. But what I talked about was, as a child of God, protecting yourself from the world. And from that, obviously, sunscreen comes with SPF. Yeah. And God's SPF, which I talked about, was security, purpose, and faith. And it was kind of like a play on words. With my titles, I like playing with words. It was a little confusing. That's why I had to specify which sunscreen I was talking about.
S-O-N or S-U-N?
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it went well.
Yeah. No, it went really well.
Oh, it definitely went well. Yeah, I can advocate for that.
Well, you talked about SPF nonstop, right?
Yeah, Aidan's message really spoke to me, and I guess the SPF, the security, purpose, faith thing, it's a memorable takeaway from the message, and from the past Aidan's messages, I think I had really high expectations for him because I know his messages are really good. Yeah. And it blew me away. Yeah. It was fantastic.
Well, I think that's something memorable for all of you guys, and probably we'll put on the bottom of the screen, but security, purpose, and faith. So now we had We had a water day, Aqua Avenue. We had the Jesus Jam, and then you had sunscreen season, right? Then we had something very different, and it was actually one of our highest attending events, and probably an event that made July really memorable. Not saying the other three weren't memorable, but kind of ended everything together. Let's talk about the pool party.
So we had the pool party at the Mitchells, and thanks,
Thank you, Mitchells.
thanks to the
Appreciate
Mitchells for lending the pool to us, because it enabled us to host such a great event, and I thought it was amazing because it was unique. It wasn't something that we'd have done before in the past, and a lot of people came, and I guess everyone was having fun and participating and coming into the pool.
Yeah, and we didn't call it the pool party. Like here at Encounter Youth this summer, we called it. What did we call it?
Lollapalooza, but pool is
In the word. Yeah, we play a lot with words. But I think one experience before we get Aidan to talk about a little bit was when me and Koji experienced with our EY balloons that we had at the front. We had a balloon that was an E and a Y, and we lost the E, so we just had a Y, and then we lost the Y, and there's going to be footage of that. That's fun. But that was like I was out there helping parents get into the parking lot and dropping off their kids. And when I was walking up, the first thing I saw was Aidan just having a blast and just you were having so much fun. So talk about the pool party a little bit from your eyes, because you look like you had a lot of fun.
well, initially when we planned this event, I thought not a lot of people were going.
Aidan thought there wasn't going to be many people coming out to the pool party, but Aidan was wrong.
Yeah. So about 50 people came.
Woo!
So
I'm too hyped.
it's kind of like, okay, you should have lower expectations, right? So then when it does happen, you're like, oh, like a lot of people came.
Yeah, if you have low enough expectations, you'll never get disappointed. I
Right.
guess.
But yeah, the event was really nice. A lot of people that said that they weren't gonna go in the water ended up in the water.
Yeah.
It was really nice. We had dinner with each other, just sat with each other, and then went back to the pool after dinner. It was really nice. But one thing I want to say is
We knew he was going to say this.
one thing I want to say is that because people don't know the full story.
That's true.
So when at the Mitchell's pool, they have a diving board, and at the opposite end of the pool, they have a basketball net, right? And there were people throughout the night, shooting it, missing terribly. You know who you are. But yeah, it was just whatever. It was not good, and I hadn't gone into the pool yet because I was like, I'm gonna wait till after dinner because, I don't want to. I don't want to get things complicated and then I have to do all this stuff. So I didn't end up going in the pool. But then I was peer pressured to go into the pool. But I was like, okay, if I go into the pool, then I'm going to jump off the diving board and I'm going to shoot it into the net. So I get to the diving board. And everyone's like, Aidan. And then there's phones coming out. People are all watching me. I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to make it. So then I jump off the diving board. I shoot it, and I'm underwater, and I hear cheering. I was like, "Whoa!" But what the full story is
That you don't know. This is like secret tea just coming out. He's spilling the tea right now.
the full story is I forgot how to swim. So it's a very deep pool, and so it took me a while to even just break the surface of the water. And when I came out, people were like, "Oh my gosh, you made it!" Everyone's like, "Oh, I got it on film." And then they're all like, "Oh, Aidan!" And then they're all watching me, right? And I forgot how to tread. I forgot how to float, like all that stuff. So I'm like going in and out of the water. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, did I make it?" But people were like thinking that because I was waving so much, I was making so much like
Celebrating.
they thought I was celebrating. But no one realized that I could drowned.
Can we just say thank you to Sophia for recording the video that you guys are gonna see right now? That was fun. But he did make the shot. It was very impressive. Top 10 for sure, Sports Center. Um, and listen, I think once again, thank you to the Mitchells. Like I think without them, there's no way that we get to do that. But we had burgers, we had hot dogs. The thing I took out of it was when everyone was sitting with each other, it wasn't the usual group sitting with each other. Like there's a lot of people mixing, matching in different tables and talking, and I think it was really fun to see that, and seeing all these kids who are part of our youth group and were with us all year, being able to just get out of their comfort zone and enjoy the moment I think that was a really good moment to see. And it wasn't that much of a cleanup, so that's also a positive too, right? But yeah, that was a good start to the pool party. But then we hit August, okay? And August hasn't been the greatest for us in the sense of canceling events and having events and changing on the spot. Originally, first week of August, right? We were supposed to go to the beach. And it didn't happen. But you guys did a quick turnaround, and it was actually a pretty awesome night. And we got to see an awesome movie as well.
Right. So, because we didn't go to the beach, we thought of a lot of different things to replace it with. Oh, we should go out again, or we should just have like a regular night. There were even thoughts of like just canceling it, the event that week. We were like, you know what, let's just do a movie night. And we were looking through like different movies. We're like, oh, we've seen that. Oh, we've suggested that before. And it's like everyone's seen movies on Netflix or Disney Plus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we realized that why don't we just buy a new movie? So we ended up watching the new Minions movie, Minions: The Rise of Gru, and we're like, oh, this is perfect. Like a lot of the people here haven't seen the movie. Some people who have seen the movie were like, oh, I want to see it again, and I was like, okay, this is like the perfect choice. I mean, the other choices were okay, but you know, it's you can't beat Minions.
I'll give you that. But there was something different about the movie night too. It wasn't just that we were playing a movie that was never seen, and it was new to theaters, and they didn't have to pay $12 to Cineplex, and instead get to watch it with your Encounter Youth family. But there was something else that we asked the youth to come out to do.
And then we had the idea,
To go viral.
yeah,
The trends.
to go with the trend and dress up and suit up in nice clothing. And we didn't really tell anyone, but everyone else kind of followed suit.
Yeah.
No pun intended. And came in ties and white button-ups, and yeah, it was like for me. I really enjoy dressing more formal, so I guess having the excuse to do that was really fun.
Listen, it was fun to see as kids were walking in, right, all dressed up, and it was kind of like they were going through oh my goodness, they were doing like a walkthrough, like a fashion show kind of thing, and they walked in and everyone was cheering them on, and it was great to see. So once again, something that youth curriculum is, they say show a movie that's, that people have watched before and that it's in high demand, and we just kind of went the opposite way, and I think it was pretty awesome to see. What do we call that night? Movie Mania, right? So still with the play on words and the titles and stuff like that, but it was a really good night. Popcorn, candy, drinks, not pop. Well, we had Nestea, but it was a good, awesome night. And I think without our leaders that night, I think we wouldn't have, it wouldn't have happened as well, right? So kudos to those two of those leaders who came and helped us out during Movie Mania. Now we're gonna go quicker here because the week that we had nothing was because we canceled our beach night or beach day. Let's say that, and we're actually filming on the day that we were supposed to be at the beach. So sacrifices, But we have an event that's coming up and I'm pretty excited for this event because it's an event that is pretty much a big staple here at the Olive Branch and at Counter Youth, and hasn't happened for a while. So let's talk about that for a bit.
It's been a bit of a tradition, but we've had like a 3-year break, I suppose. So what we've decided to bring back to end off the Youth for the Summer is the all-nighter. So yeah, we're gonna be having an all-nighter here at the Olive Branch on Friday the 19th to the 20th, and we're gonna be trying to bring back some old traditions and things that we usually do at the all-nighter, and yeah.
Yeah, so we decided, because all-nighter, it's not really a play on words. But in the past, people, when they think of all-nighter, there's a lot of like, you can't go to sleep. You have to stay up, and if you go to sleep, then we're gonna wake you up. And we kind of don't want that for this summer, because some people just want to sleep and
Yeah,
just
we
chill.
want everyone to have
So
fun.
you're encouraging a lot.
More slumber.
Right. So this event is gonna be called the Summer Slumber Party.
Ah.
And I think what we didn't have in the past years, is we're gonna have a designated chill sleep zone where you can just either fall asleep, chill with other people, and you'll have your own section during the night. So
Yeah.
you're free to do that.
But we have a whole bunch of activities for those who want to like make it all the way till the morning.
Yeah, and I think we should do a prize for that. Whoever makes it to the morning, but we probably be asleep or probably working around the clock.
During
Probably
that
be
time.
too tired to give any of those prizes.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be an awesome night, and hopefully that encourages a lot of our youth to continue to mingle and continue to build connections and relationships. And it's not that you have to stay all night either, right? We're giving the option that they can join us in the evening, and maybe they like to sleep in their own bed, and you probably don't want to bring your bed over here, so we totally get it. But I think it's going to be a fun night, and you guys are giving breakfast at the end as well in the morning, so that's going to be pretty awesome as well. Looking forward to it. But that's a lot. That's all for the events, I think, and then we're going to take a 2-week break, and then we're going to get back to youth in the fall.